So welcome back for part 3 of our Christmas cross video.
Probably the last, maybe.
Possibly, unless we get some more inspiration. But we already talked about the differences of Christmas food in the Czech Republic and the US in video 1, and we talked about
the decoration in video 2.
Yep. And now we're going to talk about what we actually do on the day of Christmas.
10, 9, 8. Go for main engine start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And 0 and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis.
We should start with the fact that the day of Christmas is not exactly the same day.
Well, for Czech Republic, it's definitely the 24th is the main day. And I believe you have like 2 days, right? 24 and
No,
26?
no. For us, the 25th is Christmas Day.
Okay.
But we do have some traditions on the 24th, which we call Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So meaning one
So
day
let's
before
start
Christmas.
with the Christmas Eve.
Okay. Well, since you actually celebrate Christmas on the 24th, we should start with you,
Okay.
and we can cut all this all out later. No, you. No, you. No, you. No,
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. So, at the beginning of the 24th, we would do some family visits, like before the
Like even
actual
in the
lunch.
morning?
Yeah, in the morning before the lunch. Before the lunch, you shouldn't eat much. Some people don't eat at all.
I remember that.
If
yeah.
you need to eat, you shouldn't eat meat.
Right.
So you can eat like lentils or something really like soft, nothing heavy, because there's gonna be big dinner.
Dinner.
Right.
Yeah, and everyone is starving by
Yeah.
the time that dinner arrives.
So no lunch or little lunch, because what the parents say to their kids is, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna see the golden pig. That's the tradition.
I forgot about the golden pig. Yes.
You've seen it?
No, but I've heard about it, of course. Like,
I've heard that some kids actually saw it,
really?
but it's probably from their hunger. so
So
it's a tradition.
the idea is you want the
You
kids.
want to see the pig.
The
so
kids
you
should.
shouldn't eat
They
at
want
all.
to see the pig.
Yeah.
And
so
they.
you shouldn't eat at all.
Okay, and they manage that by not eating.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're really hungry, you should eat something like some sweets or.
I would
What else?
really love to know where this tradition comes from.
Okay.
Like a golden pig.
Yeah. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I think it's a long one.
Yeah. That's fun.
So after the lunch, you could start decorating Christmas tree. If you don't have it already, you definitely should at this time.
It's the last chance.
Yeah,
really.
it's a last chance. And parents or mother usually would be already in the preparation for the evening, because it takes a lot of time.
I mean cooking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, there's the Christmas Eve. You have the dinner. After that, you can have some cookies. And for the middle of night, we would have a midnight mass. It means going to the church.
Like really at midnight.
Well, you should be there at midnight. You should
Okay.
like go outside before midnight, because on the very midnight in the churches there would be like some speeches from the church people.
And it's true that it seems like
So-
Czech people really do go to this. Like it's
Yeah, even
not.
though they are not Christians, they would just go there. And
It's tradition.
it's a tradition, and they would even take their kids, even though it's midnight. They would make this exception and take them. So the presents you would open after the dinner.
After dinner.
After
Okay.
dinner,
Between dinner and the midnight mass.
right?
Okay.
After the dinner.
But still on the 24th.
yeah,
Because this is very surprising for Americans.
Okay,
You do
okay.
everything on the 24th.
Right. And it might vary a bit, but if you have kids, you usually after dinner you send them like to another room or outside. You prepare the gifts under the tree, and you're gonna ring the bell, like the Ježíšek was there.
I forgot about this also. Santa Claus doesn't bring the presents.
Okay, doesn't?
For you, Santa Claus doesn't bring presents.
No.
say more about that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's Ježíšek.
Yeah,
It's
which-
actually
Means baby Jesus.
baby Jesus, guys.
Which means it's not like Jesus it has a bag and is bringing
Yeah.
the presents, but like the little baby brings a bag of presents.
Wow. We call it that.
Right.
But in the mind of the of the kids, it will be really like looking Santa Claus. But we call him Ježíš.
Okay, this is getting complicated.
Yeah.
So you call him
Yeah.
baby Jesus.
Well,
is the
nowadays,
translation.
he would be like Santa Claus look, but we call him baby Jesus, and maybe like in the history it could be like because the small baby like few days old couldn't carry all the
I mean,
gifts.
if we're talking about practical logistics, Santa
Yeah.
Claus coming down the chimney is not.
Yeah, but it's
not.
more possible.
I
The
don't
baby
know.
coming with the
I don't.
presents.
They both seem pretty unlikely.
Okay.
But do you remember?
But you wouldn't see him in Czech Republic. He would be like ringing the bell, and he's gone.
Okay.
So the presents are there, and you start opening.
I remember because I talked with some Czechs, including you, about this
Mm-hmm.
like 14 years ago in my English class.
You're so old.
We're a bit old. And I remember that a lot of Czechs had different ideas of what Ježíšek was in their mind. Do you remember our friend Lenka's idea
Mhm.
of what is Ježíšek? She thought
I remember now. Okay.
she thought it. This will sound strange, but there's a reason. She thought that Ježíšek was a hedgehog
Uh huh. Yeah.
because the Czech word for hedgehog.
Is Ježek, so it's similar.
So for years as a kid, she thought her presents were being brought by a hedgehog.
Well, actually, we call it Ježíšek,
Hmm.
and if you say small hedgehog, it's Ježeček.
So that's
very
that's a. I'm surprised more people don't have more kids don't have that confusion. But
Yeah, but I think you're right that each Czech has like different kind of opinion how it looks. But like now, with all the commercials, it's getting more to the Santa Claus
Yeah.
appearance.
So still calling him baby Jesus, but
Yeah.
in the minds of the kids, it looks like Santa Claus.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is a little bit sad.
Mhm.
But okay, so
Okay.
then,
Your day, please.
well, so we would start traditional things on the 24th.
Uh-huh.
The 23rd to 24th would be time to see like extended family, so aunts and uncles and cousins and things like that.
Okay,
In
so
my
that's
family, at
same.
least, yeah.
Mhm.
We would have some traditions on the 24th, but for us, that's not Christmas Day. Like, that is very much the day before Christmas.
Mhm.
But I think it's pretty traditional to have like a big family dinner on Christmas
and how about
Eve.
lunch? You would have a normal lunch.
I think it depends on the family.
Yeah.
For us, sometimes we would have a brunch, like a late lunch.
Okay.
But it depends like which family members you're seeing and.
Mhm.
If we were at home, actually anywhere, in my family, our parents would actually allow us to choose one present under the tree that we could open before Christmas Day. And usually
At
this
what time? Like before the dinner or after?
could be before dinner. Yeah.
Okay. Just one.
Just one.
So it means
would
you
choose
would
one.
already on the 24th, you would already have the presents there.
Well, that's a good point, because there would be a lot of presents under the tree for a couple of weeks. But those are the presents that are bought by the parents in the family. Now, still, Santa Claus will bring some presents, but that happens on the night of the 24th.
Okay.
So, opening
So
presents,
you are basically gathering the gifts,
yeah,
like one by
slowly
one.
as they would be
So
bought
that's
and
different.
wrapped.
Okay.
You could put them under the tree immediately, and you would see like the.
Yeah.
So as a kid, you get
Okay.
excited,
Okay.
and you see, oh, there's a big one and there's a little one, and maybe sometimes you shake it. Yeah. But normally it would be considered cheating to open a present before the 25th.
Right.
Which means that the biggest part of Christmas for American children is like going to sleep on the 24th.
I think that's the hardest for American kids, like actually looking forward to it
Yeah.
and going to
Yeah.
sleep.
And then you get a big dinner with lots of cookies, and you know that you're going to get lots of presents the next day, and you're expected
Lots
to go
of
to sleep.
cookies, so lots of sugar, and then falling asleep.
Yeah, yeah. Unsurprisingly, it did not always go smoothly, but parents will say, Santa Claus cannot come until you fall asleep.
Right.
So we're motivated, maybe like there for 2 hours trying to keep our eyes closed. But at one point...
So what time are you allowed to go on the 25th?
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 Well,
Like 2 in the morning is fine, or?
probably not. Probably not. So during the night, Santa Claus would come and add a bunch of presents
Okay.
under the tree. And then depending on the family, depending on the kids, the kids could wake up at like 5 or 6 and jump on their parents' bed and say, it's Christmas morning, presents, presents, presents.
So how do you know there was Santa Claus?
Well,
Like,
you
if you don't ring, or you can see the presents, but
Well, you're supposed to be asleep when Santa Claus comes, but I'm glad you mentioned this. Like the kids at night, they leave cookies and milk for Santa Claus,
Yeah.
so that when he comes, he can have a little
That's
snack.
correct.
So you wake up and you go and you see that the cookies and the milk are gone, and there are a bunch of presents. My parents would even, Santa Claus, for our kid viewers, Santa Claus would leave red strings, like some red threads, in the chimney, so that we could see that
so he
Santa
went
Claus
through
had
the
been
chimney.
there. Yeah, yeah. I was a very firm believer. Yeah.
Till what age?
That might be a different video.
Do you believe now?
No. So kids on the morning of the 25th, this is the big Christmas moment for Americans. The kids wake up the parents, they go into the living room, and they start like opening up presents, and this is even before eating.
Right.
Like you go straight to the presents, and then like later in the morning you're gonna have like a big breakfast. Everyone kind of spends the afternoon playing with their new toys.
Right.
And in the evening, we'd have a dinner that usually is the traditional one with ham or turkey. Some other family members might come over, and
Okay.
we go like this. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
Yeah.
That's
Let's
the
cover
tradition.
one more thing.
Yeah.
Because this is like a family tradition, so everything goes like inside the family. So it means like in the town, like how busy is town? Because for Czech Republic, on the 24th, like before the lunch, it will be still lively. All the shops will be open because some people are getting
even the morning of the 24th.
yeah, some people are still getting the gifts, so it will be open like till 12 or 1, most of them. And after that, it will be like everybody is spending time with their family, so the streets will be basically empty.
Yeah.
And on the 25th, it's 5th, also, it will be like spending time with your family. So not a lot of people outside.
I was out on the streets of Prague years ago on the 24th, and it was like a ghost town in the afternoon. Everything was closed. Everyone was with their families. So if you're planning to be a tourist in Prague, like think carefully about what you're going to do on the 24th, because it's very quiet.
Yeah.
Like
And so is it similar in USA?
on the 25th,
On the
yes.
25th.
On the 24th, it's still crazy because even
So
by the evening of the 24th,
Yeah,
people
you would still
like
getting-
a few years ago I was working in a big bookstore, Barnes and Noble, and I had to work on the 24th, and it was one of the craziest days of the year. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
madness, just. And people were so stressed and unpleasant because if they're there on the 24th, it means like, I need a present, any present, give me a present now. And
Yeah.
but the 25th, it sounds a lot like that everyone would be with their family and it would be very quiet. Most shops or big companies would be closed. Like,
And since it's your opening present, it's 25. The 26 would go no problem.
yeah. I think
Because for us-
most people would have like.
Yeah,
would
most
have the
people have
20
still few days of
Yeah,
holidays.
I'm not
or-
sure. I don't think the 26th is a national holiday. Most companies, I think, would allow their family to allow their employees to stay home, but it's not an official holiday. So some people on the 26th have to go back to work.
Yeah, well, some people in Czech Republic too. If it's not like a weekend,
Right.
there's still a few days before the
Right.
New Year.
Kids, of course, usually would have at least 2 weeks off of school. So
Right.
then you have time to play with the presents. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we actually managed to cover the Christmas tree in only 3 videos.
Yep.
We wanted to have one, but
Yep. I'm sure there's a lot of other like Christmas traditions out there. Please tell us about Christmas traditions in your country and what you do differently.
actually, we got one thing to cover, and that's the Christmas tradition. And we're gonna cover this one in the next video, because this one is totally different, because these traditions we have in Czech Republic, we have so many of them, and we can actually try some and show them to you. So this one we're gonna have special video for it.
Okay, so that will be part 4.
That will be basically part 4.
All right, so I spoke too soon. This was part 3. Join us for Christmas traditions in the Czech Republic and the USA in part 4, coming up next.
And please subscribe, because you don't want to miss it.
Then you'll be sure to not miss part 4. Part 4 is going to be the best part. I can
Okay.
I can feel it.
Yeah, so see you in the last part.